So this is the NARWAL Z10 wet dry mop vacuum combo. It has dust storage, it has a charging station, it has a cleaning station. So we're going to walk through the unboxing. I'll give you all the specs, I'll connect to the app. This is what it looks like. You can actually scan that QR code right down there and get all the information that you need. So let's jump into the unboxing. I'm actually going to flip this over and just pull this off, and then we'll be able to unbox, again, the NARWAL Z10. Okay, let's jump into what's in the box before I pull it out. So you're actually going to have one robot, you're going to have one base station, you're going to have two edge kind of anti-tangling side brushes, you'll have a base station power cord, you'll have a floor detergent container, you'll have a product manual, you'll have an extension wrap, and then you'll have the cleaning tray. So that's everything that's going to come in the box before we pull it out. Some of the things that you will want to know about this is it's got the 15,000 PA, which is Pascal suction power. It has the 8-inch strong moisture mop, and that will go up and down, so you can go on wood or tile. You can also do carpet. And then it's got a hands-free self-cleaning station that it'll go back to, clean everything, and then go back out. And I want to make sure that I cover everything for you. PA, mops, tangling, anti-tangling. This is a dual detangler. Also works with Android, Google. It works with Android, Apple, and you can do it with any of your home devices like a Google Home or Alexa, stuff like that. You can just connect it and talk to it. So we'll spend some time in the app as well, but let's jump into the unboxing right now. We're gonna get our right pin and our left pin, our owner's manual, our power cord. You get your tray. This connects to the power station. Underneath the lid, we've got two containers here, right? We have our cleaning one, and there's a couple things that I really like about this, right? They are pretty big, right? This is at least a gallon, maybe two. We have this locking mechanism here. And then the way that this is actually built, you can see that there's a hole right here, and that just goes right into and kind of sucks in. There's no tubes or anything you have to worry about. This is our dirty water here. And I've reviewed other kind of wet, dry mops and robots. And one of the things that's really kind of awesome about this one is there's no open container. So there's ones where you have to like unscrew it and then dump all the water out. It also comes with the lemon basil formula. We have our power cord here. And then again, we showed you these two corner pieces. So now what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna bring this down on the ground, get everything charged, get it connected to my phone, get the app, put all of that together. Okay, so here we are on the floor. We've moved this. A couple things I wanna show you just as far as the quote unquote install. And it just slides right in there and kind of snaps into place. So you can't even see it, but this helps the robot get back up into the track. And then you also have this piece right here, which you can see if I show you all the way back in there. This is actually just gonna slide all the way back in here, and it just drops right in there. So you can see this gray piece right here. You just pull this out. There's this little rubber lining right here to make sure it doesn't leak or anything like that. So really, really flush right there. And then the part that I did not show you when it was up on the counter is this magnetic cover. So this allows you to change the bag filter from the cleaning and the vacuuming. And then there's also the piece right here that makes sure that everything is aligned. And so on the top, which I already showed you from the other video, you're gonna be able to put in your clean water, and then you have a dirty water, and then this is where your vacuum goes. So when it does the vacuuming and takes all the dust and stuff out, that's there. And this just connects with 3 strong magnets right there. And then there's these 2 little notches at the bottom. And it just really just snaps on just like this. If anything happens, there we go. So you can see on the top, our lights are lighting up. Those LEDs. So 1, 2, 3, the home, play, this button. So, and there's different colors. There's red and there is blue. I'm assuming that red means it's charging, and then when it's fully charged, I'm assuming it's going to turn to blue. We're going to let this sit for a little bit. I'm going to connect the app. I'm going to get the robot over here, program the robot, make sure that it kind of does everything. I'll kind of walk through the mapping portion. It says it takes about 6 minutes to map, which is amazing. The ones that we have reviewed previously were up to 12, 14, almost 18 minutes on one that we reviewed. So I'm really happy with the speed. We'll see what that looks like. And I'm actually going to slide this back a little bit further so we have room next to the robot. Okay, a couple things on the actual robot that you want to be aware of is we've got the top that just pops off right here. And you'll have this container here, which is you also have the power button. You have the scanning code right here. This is where you'll scan the app and basically connect the robot. This is what it looks like. You can see there's some dust and stuff like that. And then we're going to send it to the home base, clean it all, and then I'll pull it out and show you what that looks like. So this is the before. So when it's done vacuuming, it goes to the kind of home base station. So we had all that hair here. Just want to show you what the cleaning looks like. And then I'll actually show you in the filter or the cartridge where all of that goes. We can take it and we can put it in the trash. And then we'll show you a little bit of the mopping and clean up that mess. So it kind of gets aligned. And we're actually going to move this. I don't know where we're going to have it finally. We don't like it necessarily right here in front of this rug. But for the time being, this is where it's going to sit. So it goes in here. Here's your vacuum. Pretty quiet. And let me just show you the bottom and the filter and all the stuff that it pulls out of that. So you can see here, right, it's got all of the hair here out of this. And then on the actual, this is crazy, right? So this pops off, and then you can see right in there all of that hair, right? You can also see the dust, little wood chips, all the stuff. This is after one cleaning. So I actually did a cleaning and it just pulled all of that stuff and put it right in here, and then I can empty this later, and you'll notice the filter, right? A little bit of dust. I can clean that out and wash it out later. So we are doing an initial mapping, and so we're going to go through, and I've actually put some obstacles in the way, like an extra chain, so it's going around. I'm assuming it's taking AI pictures, obviously. I've seen some that actually run around the room. So there's the box that it came in, everything. If you've seen other robots before, they kind of run to the edge of everything when they're initially mapping. And this is actually just going through, grabbing all the information. It's going to come back out and go to other rooms. So again, we'll jump back in when it's done mapping, and I'll give you an accurate time. Okay, so the total mapping time took about 4.5 minutes. You can see it only did 4 rooms. We have this kind of little cubby right here, which is this blue piece right here. This big purple one is a kitchen, dining room / living room combined. Then we have a front room, which is an office. And then this little part over here is the actual backside of the kitchen with this cover. So room number 4. Anyway, so a lot of different options when you're in the actual app. So let me just show you what you're looking at here. You can see that we're in standby mode up here on the top left. You can see over here on the top right, we have a battery. We can do multiple levers of maps. We can do a 3D map if we wanted to do that. So it'll pull up a 3D map, and you can see that there's a home base right here, as it's already done through and gone through everything. So it's going to go basically not go out, it's going to pull all of the information. So when we go back to maps, we can do the color one, which is what we were just on, and then we can do kind of a mono map. So you can switch to whatever you want. Now, the cool thing is you can actually name your rooms, and then you can do other maps. If you wanted to take your robot upstairs or downstairs or to a different floor, you can do that. So you can have multiple maps in your map management. So if I go to map management, I could add a secondary map and go like that, and it would basically go through everything. I'm not going to do that now, but you can also do zones, kind of where everything is at. So there's the zone, there's the rooms like this. So you can switch that back and forth. When we click here, it's basically going to give us all of the things that we want to know about the base station. So we want to do base station dust collection. I can start the dust collection. I'm disconnected right now because I'm doing a screen recording. If I wanted to do a dust Canada disinfection, I could do that. You could see that. Now, because I'm connected, I'm doing a screen recording. It's not allowing me to do that. Now, if we jump into settings, you can see we have all sorts of stuff here. We have firmware updates. We can name our Freo Z10. We can go into the Freo Mind. We can add detergent. We can go to clean. We can go to general. You can see all of these different things. We can turn on child lock, family with pets, high altitude mode, do not disturb. I can do a base station. I'm going to check everything out here, see what's going on with my base station. There are so many options that you have here. And I'm going to see if there's a firmware up here and see if there's a check for a new version. It's already got the latest version, which is nice. That's something they always do. We can do language and voice. We can do third-party controls. This is where you would add your Amazon Alexa or your Google Home. And the Freo Mind, which basically talks about your suction power, mopping humidity, coverage precision. You can change each one of these. If we're using heavy-duty detergent, we could install that and put that in. So a lot of different options when we get into the actual rooms. Now, you'll see down on the bottom, I've got vacuum and mop, vacuum then mop, or then just vacuum. So if I were going to do any of these, I would just click on these. I can slide over. I can do mops, customization, floor maintenance. Now, I also have a history, which is going to show me my cleaning. And the map size you can see here, rooms 1, 2, 3, and 4, roughly 700 square feet. So it didn't take a full 7 minutes or 6 minutes to do that. I can also schedule this. So if I want to add different days and times, I can do this and go that way. So here we go. We are doing a vacuum, and what you'll notice is it's just going to go. I've left some things out to see. We've already done the mapping. We showed you that earlier, going around a lot of this stuff. Again, we already did the pre-mapping before, and you'll notice these little tiny blades go into the corners and sweep all the dust. There's one on both sides. There's one that goes really quick, one that goes a little bit slower. Again, I've seen this before. And one of the things that I really liked about this is it would not let me mop without any water in the actual robot itself. So the cleaning up on the carpet, this is one of the things in some of the previous vacuums that I've reviewed or that we've used as a family. The transition from wood to carpet did not go well. You can see. So once it heads back to the station, what you'll do is you'll hear it's actually going to self-clean. So this is getting rid of all the dust, and then it's also using the mop water on the top, the bottom, right? So we just sent it out for a little bit, and it does have that self-cleaning meshing.
Task completed.
So it will tell you when everything is done, whether that is the vacuuming, whether that is the mopping, different things like that. So really easy to use. We already put the water in there. I'm just leaving that open. Again, there's a lot of different things that you can do. All of the instructions are right here with those 3 buttons. So you can actually control it from the app or from the device itself, the home base station. So let me give you my final thoughts on everything. Having used 3 or 4 of these and done reviews on all of them, let me show you my final thoughts. Okay, so the final review and final details that I've noticed after I've been using this and kind of gone through. So as far as the clean water, dirty water, super easy to fill up, super easy to empty. It comes with a Loctite thing, and then all the water just gets sucked in from that. It's almost 2 gallons of water that you can hold, so it'll go through, clean itself, and filter through. The other thing that I really like is the basically the mop blades are removable. So there's this Velcro right here, and then these are actually magnetic, so you can pull them off. So they're magnet right in here. So it's easy to kind of, if they get stuck or to clean, you can just take these off. They're machine washable. We talked about these 2 little guys right here that come, and so as they're spinning around, one of them is a little bit tighter, one of them is a little bit looser and spins faster. The wheels are really powerful. When we raise up on our front end, we're getting about 1.5 inches. So if you run over anything, it's going to, whether it was wires, carpet, we even had a little kind of doggy bowl that it kind of bounced up over. So that was really nice. The location, the on-ramp right here, and then the cleaning station on the inside, which we showed you at the beginning, is pretty airtight. We didn't have any water leak out or anything like that. So let me flip this around. So I've reviewed, this is now the 5th robot vacuum that I've reviewed, and I just want to share my kind of honest thoughts about this guy. This is the NARWAL Z10. They have different versions, different devices. This by far is better than every other device that I've used. And there's a couple reasons why. One, the self-cleaning mode is both for the vacuum and for the mop. So it'll do both of those. I also love the options when you're in the app. So you can do vacuuming and mopping at the same time. You can do vacuuming then mopping, and you can actually customize those to whatever order you want, which I really like. The previous versions, it was either mop or vacuum. It wasn't ever both at the same time. And then you didn't have the option to do both at the same time in the previous models. The suction power on this is great. You have the option to go full steam ahead, like as far as like the highest it can go. You can also put it in quiet mode, which is really kind of, you know, the lowest level. It'll still vacuum everything. It's just a little bit quieter. It handled the 3 terrains really, really well, the carpet, the wood, and the tile. And then I really liked that the robot itself, I mean, boosted up almost about 1.5 inches to get over some things. You saw some of that when it was going over the carpet, different things like that. I really like the design as far as this goes, that you can actually control it from the station here. When we flip open the lid, we have all of the different things here, press and hold at the same time with these 3 buttons. I really like the containers for the clean and the dirty water, as far as you don't have to like unscrew the cap and like have it drain all over. You can just flip open the top and dump it out. I mean, these are small things, right? But you can tell that somebody took all of the kind of negative things of all of the other vacuum mops and power stations and improved on all of them and just put it all into this guy, right? So thank you for watching. I appreciate you so much.